Alright, hey guys, so today we're going to be making a fixed bracelet with a buckle. I'm probably going to redo my adjustable bracelet tutorial because now I have an actual stand that I can use, so you guys can get an overhead view of what I'm doing. I want this package open. Shouldn't have cut my fingernails. Anyway, we'll get that open in a second. Okay, there we go. Today we're going to be making a fixed bracelet. I'm going to show you how. We're going to use the same colors we did last time. You can do it with other rope, probably. I just like to use paracord because, you know, it's really sturdy and it's fun to work with. So anyway, we're going to cut out what we need. Typically if you're, and I'll show you guys how to make a bracelet with, like, one color another time. Typically, if you want to make one color, you need like 10-15 feet of it, that color. Today we're doing two, so you probably only need about 7 to 10 feet of each color, depending on how long you want your bracelet to be. So if your bracelet's going to be longer than 7 inches long, you're going to want about 10 feet of the paracord for each color. If it's going to stay under 7 inches, then 7 feet or so should be fine. And then as you get better at it, you'll kind of learn just through intuition how much is how much, which is kind of where I'm at. Though sometimes I do still get a little bit extra, but that's okay because, you know, you can cut off the extra. Making these bracelets is probably one of the only spots where the saying it's always better to add too little because you can always add two more. This is probably one of the spots where that rule does not apply. Anyways, so we have the cord. As you'll know, it's a little bit frayed here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull a little bit of the stuff out, and then we're gonna clip it. Just clip as much as you can. Now, you're going to grab a little bit lower and just kind of force it up so that now the end is like hollow. There's still more like white stuff down there, which is the actual rope. This is just like the shell. But we need that empty because we're just going to take a lighter and we're going to quickly melt it a little bit and then just squeeze it shut and the paracord will melt. If you're a kid, let a parent do that part. I recommend using gloves because you can burn yourself. I burn myself all the time because I don't have gloves and I just have tough fingers, I guess. I don't know, but I burn my finger sometimes. Once you've done that with all the ends, I'm gonna do it with all the ends. Then we'll start actually making the bracelet. There's our black. Now we're going to do blue. Now this is actually special blue paracord, and you guys can use any lighter. You don't need one like this where it's butane, because the reason I'm using this one is because the special type of paracord I have, it's actually glow-in-the-dark paracord, but it's a different brand than I usually use, so it doesn't melt the same. So I needed this one to get it to melt so I could make the bracelets out of it. But most of the time, for most of the paracord you'll get, a standard, you know, house lighter or cigarette lighter or whatever will work. So just go ahead, keep that in mind. I'm probably going to be making more tutorials. I'll show you guys how to make keychains and dolls and a special pattern of keychain. And then let me know if you guys have any like questions and stuff. I'd be happy to answer. I always love, you know, working with my fans, I suppose. I like talking to people, so, you know, it's always fun. Okay, now that we got it melted, we're going to take our buckle. I've got just a little buckle here. Typically, I use a bigger one, but I did not check the size before I bought these ones, so they're all small. What you're going to do is you're going to take one color and you're going to feed it through the back side of the buckle and out the other side. And this is very important that you take the white part out and cut it so that you can make this end as thin as possible to fit it through the buckle if you have a small one. And then once it's through the buckle, I don't know why this one's having so much trouble. Once it's through the buckle, you can just pull it. You don't need a whole lot out right now, just a little bit. And then we're also going to do the same with the blue. We're going to stick that right through and pull it. Okay, and then we're going to find that end of the black that we just had. Perfect. We're going to pull those so they are even. And you want to pull it a fair amount until there is almost none left on the back of this bracelet. Okay. Then you're going to take your other side, and it's very important that you make sure they are matching up like this and one's not like this, because if you do that, then your buckle, depending on the buckle you get, it may still connect, but sometimes it won't because you flipped your buckle wrong. We're going to feed it back through because we did over, so we're going to feed it through this way too. And then just, pull it till we get to here. Then we're going to find the other end of our black here. Now, if you do this, you may notice it'll get tangled a lot. That's fine. That's perfectly normal. Just sort through it until it's untangled. Then, once you do, you're going to toss this black over here through the other side. Now, it's important that you try your best not to crisscross them. So, as you can tell, I'm keeping... Sorry, I keep knocking my lighter down with my other hand. I'm going to put that over here for now. As you notice, when I do this, I'm making sure to keep the black on one side and the blue on the other, because if they crisscross in the middle, it can cause some problems later, including the bracelet not being very, stable. So, once you're there and you pulled it through, so it goes through here and through here, now you've got this. You're going to pull it out to whatever length you want. You can use a tailor tape or a ruler. I don't have either one on me, so I'm just going to go with this random length of, yeah, that'll fit my wrist. So, from here, now that you have this, you're going to take that, one of those strings again. I'm going to go with the black this time. And you're going to come over to the other buckle that you had fed it through the first time. You're going to push it over as far as you can, because if you have a small buckle, it's not going to fit very well. If you have a big buckle, it should be fine. You're going to put it back through on the same side of the black, and you're going to pull it. And it's very important that you keep track of which string you're pulling. You don't pull the wrong one and pull it out, because you will get frustrated very quickly at trying to make sure your bracelet stays, bracelety. Then you're going to take the other string. I'm going to take the blue now. You're going to, again, pull it to one side as much as you can if you have a small buckle. And then you're going to feed it through. Now, sometimes you may have some difficulty feeding it through. I'm going to kind of squeeze this real hard here to try and get this one through, because I didn't melt it the best. Hopefully I can still get it through, though. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to remelt this one, just because it's not the best, so we're gonna clip that off just a tiny bit. Pull it up. Where's my lighter? Yep, okay, so that should be good. Again, we're going to try and put it through. And then we just, there we go. Pull it till we get it. Now, if you'll notice, you want to try and get a space so that you have room when you're doing this. And that way paracord's not like going all over the floor and stuff. But as sometimes the bracelet will shrink. So just make sure you double check the length again when you get to this part. But now we have 2 strands, the blue and the black. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have our blue and our black all the way here. And these are the little nubs here. We're going to leave these be for now. We'll take care of those later. But we have buckles started through on either side so we could buckle in properly. We're going to take the longer black one and we're going to put it over. You can also do the other way. You can do blue over. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with black for now. We're going to put it over. Then we're going to take the blue and also put it, now it's over the black. And then it's going to go behind and through. And we're going to pull it all the way. And then we're going to pull it nice and tight. If you can, try and make sure so that it's down beneath the buckle. You're not always going to get it perfect, especially that first knot. It's always going to look kind of wonky. At least it always has for me. You may have better results. That's fine. If it looks a little wonky, don't even worry about it. You're going to then pull that black across again. Blue over. It's going to go, now that it's over, if you look back, it's going to come behind and then through here. And we pull it. And then we pull this one. And this one is where it's going to start to look normal. And you're just going to repeat that process. So we're going to go black over, blue, then behind, and through. And then you're going to pull it. Ta-da! I'm just going to keep showing you guys this as I go through so you guys can kind of see how it works. Depending on how thick you want your bracelet to be, you can pull it really tight or you can keep it loose, and that'll change. And then if you're like, oh, I wanted, blue on the inside and black on the outside, if you flip it, it's the other way around. So yeah, just keep that in mind for any of you guys making it. Now, if you're measuring for a person, say their wrist is 7 inches, and how you would measure that is you take a piece of string and you would wrap it all the way around their wrist, and whatever this length is their wrist size. And what you do is if they have like a 7-inch wrist, you'd make your bracelet 7.5 inches. So because it's always going to end up just a little bit smaller. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, if you're not already, this is probably one of the only times I'll ever ask this. If you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe, because, why not? Man, there's a mosquito in here, and it keeps flying in my face. Anyway. So, yep, you're just gonna... Okay, you're just gonna keep going, black, blue, behind, and pull. And we're gonna go all the way down our bracelet. Now, you may notice it's kind of like fluffy. That's fine. Just keep going. Trust me, it'll get rid of itself. I'm going to pause the video and then catch up with you guys when I'm done with this part. Okay, guys, so we're done with this part. This may be getting posted in 2 different videos because instead of pausing the video like I was supposed to, I accidentally stopped it. But I'm going to see if I can edit that to in CapCut or YouTube or something to make it so they're both connected into the same video. We're done tying it all the way down. If for whatever reason you needed to pause the video to go back, that's fine. Now what we're going to do is we got to get rid of these ends. So we're going to clip off a little bit. Don't clip it too close because you may need a little extra. So just clip off Just got a little bit extra. And then I'm going to do a little extra, then the extra on the blue because, well, sometimes it doesn't melt correctly. And we're going to cut. Bam. Okay, so now we got all the extra tails and everything cut off. What we're going to do is, so that they don't fray, because any knot we tie is eventually going to come undone or it's going to fray or something. So we're going to melt the paracord to the paracord to hold it the best that it possibly can. So you're just going to burn it. You don't have to burn it quite as long as I do. I'm burning this one for so long because sometimes it doesn't stick properly. Yep, I think that's good for now. For that one, that should stay for a long while. Now we're going to do other tail. Melt it and push. Now, sometimes you might not get the greatest melt and it won't stick, which is why I recommend cutting off some extra. So that way, if it doesn't stick, you can just clip off the melted part and retry. Especially if you're starting like early. This is your first time doing something like this, because you're bound to make mistakes. It's human nature. And you're trying out something new, so you're not expected to be master at it. Look at that, even I just messed up with that one. So, you just clip it off, and then we try again. Now, sometimes you may just want to fold it over on this side, which is fine. You can do that. I'm just gonna actually get annoyed at this guy, so I'm gonna set him on fire. Not good advice. If you get annoyed with something, don't set it on fire. That's called arson. Anyway, so I got that one. I can either fold this one this way to meld it or fold it that way. I'm going to choose this way just because that's going to be the easier way to fold it. To get it melted. Now, if it smells a little odd while you're melting the paracord, that's perfectly normal. You're melting something, so it's going to smell off. But yeah, so there we go. Now I got it solid on all the sides. This is our bracelet. It clips. You can check to see if it actually fits your wrist. For me, it's rather hard to put on a bracelet with one hand. But yeah. And then, you know, you can gift it to a friend or whatever you want with it, because it's done. Good job, guys.